Hello, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is your forecast for October 2022, and it is filled with transformational shifts of great intensity regarding who you think you are in the world and where you think you're going. You may find that this is one of the most important months of your reality. It is picking up a loose thread around purpose and career that happened in 2021, and it is threading that needle to give you a momentum and a directionality that will be with you for the rest of your days, or at least the next 15 years. So stay tuned. And the ruler of your sign, your most favorable planet, Venus, is creating something like a debt relief program, helping you eliminate not only karmic debt, but also real life debt, loans and mortgages and bank loans in a radically beautiful, loving, and magical way. And this is also starting in October. Can also be a massive improvement for the rest of your next 4 years in your health issues as well. Let's talk about all of that before we get started. If you're new to my channel, I am Lori Lothian. I am a lunatic astrologer, basically using Hellenistic traditional astrology, Babylonian astrology, with a slice every now and then of everything else, to decipher the sky so that we can tell true stories about your life, and so that you can also time your best life. And we're like looking at timing your best life for October. So let's get ready and let's get going. Now let's talk first about the big, and before I do, an order of business. Besides like, subscribe if you're new, I'm going to try to catapult myself over 10,000 subscribers. I'm 500 away as I do this recording on September the 20th. You want to be a part of Team Catapult Me over 10,000. Big contest going on, closes October 30th. And all you have to do is sign up for my newsletter, get you a ballot, subscribe, get you a ballot, comment on my channel, get you a ballot. All of these are going to be collected by my assistant, and we're going to have a giant tab of names, and we're going to draw on 10 free readings, like giveaways, half price courses, giveaways around a lot of stuff. So if that interests you at all and you want to be a part of the big party, then please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. But more than that, sign up for my newsletter, comment in the comments thing, any of my videos over the course of October. Well, September 20th to the end of October. All right, let's get going. The long day. I've been recording and teaching classes and seeing clients, and here we are with you. You're my last recording of my all signs versions of October. I started in retro order this time. So I'm going to take some time to breathe with you. And I want to talk to you like personally a little bit. Okay. Like I really want you to kind of think about you and me together in this moment, because it's a big deal. You are one of the signs that have gone through the most catalytic, energized shifts and changes in the recent times. Part of it has been what I call the big boom in the house of you, that happened at the end of July, beginning of August, where Mars, Uranus, North Node collided in the house of your identity and your body. And that is once every 2,300 years because of the addition of Mars. Without Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and North Node is every 15 years. This is going to pivot you like a ship on the ocean by 1 degree. And then by the time you reach 15 years from now, that shore, your destination is entirely different, because it's a pivot in the house of you, the focal point of the first house. I suppose it's more true for the rising sign Taurus, but secondarily or peripherally for sun and moon. You may find that it's like everything in your life is trying to change your directions, like a ship on the ocean, so that the shore you arrive on 15 years from now is where you need to be. So compare that to the shore shifting of 2007 March, which happened in your sign of your friends, your social networks. This is Pisces 11th house, your groups of belonging, the great gains that are possible from your career path. Okay, that was another story. It's done. Now it's really about your identity changing in a way that's incremental maybe, but also later on shows you to be in an entirely different direction than you normally would be. Now, for some of you, the big boom that happened in July, August, end of July, beginning of August, could be about love relationships. Why? Because the big boom happened opposite the house of significant others. And any love stories that you engage in July and August could be pivotal and life-changing for you, and change more than just your love story, but even your career purpose and the way you operate in the whole of life. And I'm bringing this all up because there's something happening in the first 2 weeks of October, which is that Saturn will square Uranus North Node in the house of you. This has been something you experienced already, February, June, and December of last year, 2021. And it was in action as a backdrop of all of 21. You are trying to pivot and reinvent yourself, but Saturn, duty, responsibility, hard work, sober-minded, realistic energy in your house of career ambitions has been, and successes has been dampening and raining on your freedom parade, loving your independence, wanting to break out of a mold, be you, be true, be something new, you know? And Saturn is like, no, 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 obligations. This is your career. This is your visible reputation. Stick with the program. Now, Saturn's not a bad guy in Aquarius in your 10th house. He's actually trying to help you. He's making you hold the fort. And in fact, one of my favorite things about Saturn Uranus is like, it's how you can have incremental change in a reliable, sturdy way that's still incredibly powerful. So we don't mind Saturn, but it is a tension. And it's happening in October for the first 2 weeks, when Saturn makes his fourth pass, squaring Uranus in the house of you. There is a refraining, a refrenation where they don't totally meet, but you're going to feel this tension. And by the time you get through like to the 10th, 11th, 12th of October, it's really tight. And then they refrain from hugging. So there could be almost like a pivotal moment of like breakdown to breakthrough, of really a crushing feeling of defeat or of a wall you're hitting, but you want to break through it. And that would be around the middle of October, like a 7th to the 15th. And then it all sort of dissolves away because a third option arises, maybe, or because of a change that you didn't see coming, or the way you thought it was going to go, it doesn't go, because it's like a change of mind, a change of direction. So it's exciting for you. So watch for that crunchy energy in October. Then another story you must know about. I'm just jumping all over because I'm going with the most powerful stories for you. You are a Venus ruled being. And therefore, what Venus does, you pay attention to. And when Venus is doing things, you watch what she does, right? You should anyway. She's your fairy godmother. So Venus actually will square Pluto on the 19th. And this will be a bit of a crunchy moment. Venus is the goddess of love and the goddess of money and creativity. And Pluto is power and secrets and rebirth and death. And this crazy ass tension between Venus, who's going to be in Libra on October 19th, your 6th house of debt, health challenges, sickness, health, things to do with your work and work routines, employers, employees, your employees, or tenancy or pets, okay? Venus will square Pluto, the god of death, in the 9th house. Now, literally, it could be the death of a pet, not to worry you, but it could happen. Especially if it's a female pet. But it could also be tension between something you're wishing to accomplish with debt relief, because Pluto is wealth, and legal court cases, not because the 9th house is where Pluto's traveling for you. In Capricorn is about judges and courts. And you may feel like all is lost, or there's some gritty tension. And do you need to figure out how to compromise or how to balance this tension of whatever's going on around the 19th? But hold your fort, because on the 22nd, only 3 days later, Venus will star point at 29 Libra in your house of debt, in your house of pets, in your house of work, in your house of health, and she will join with the sun. And it has not happened for 200 years. So it's a big effing deal for you, Taurus risings. I'll be doing a whole video on this. And the gist of it is there's a grace bolt coming your way. A grace bolt of debt relief, a grace bolt of health improvement, a new pet coming, or some turnaround with a pet's health situations, anything like that is possible. Now, the Cazimi is Venus in the heart of the sun, getting divine instructions from God kind of vibe. So in the lap of the king soul. So she won't be able to deliver the goods till she's visible. And that's December 4th and 5th and 6th, and more northern latitudes might be closer to the middle of December. So expect the goodies to arrive in your inbox of goodness around debt relief, pets, health, work situations, tenancies, employer stuff around, December 5th onward, from whatever is germinating and being seeded October 22nd. Venus is your girl. She's got your back. Now let's talk about other stories. October is good because 3 planets go direct, and we always want direct motion planets, because when they're all retrograde, which we were in September, which was a headache, we feel like we're stuck. Something is not moving forward, or we do have to go back over such excruciatingly old ground, and we're anxious for forward momentum. And then we get Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn going direct in the month of October. So we might want to start out of order for you, because it's that Saturn squaring your identity that's back up in your face in October, mid-September through to mid-October, but grinding away more intensely around October 12th. And it is on the 18th that Saturn goes out of retrograde into direct motion. So I would say that you're getting momentum in your career, reputation, part of your sky. Things are looking good and moving forward after the station direct of Saturn, which is happening on the 22nd. Yes, the day of that Cazimi of Venus in the heart of the sun. So everything pivots there around the 22nd of the month regarding the themes that we're talking about: reputation, career, debt, health, employees, employers, etc. Pets. Now, Mercury will go direct October 2nd. And the first 10 days of that, or October 2nd to the 11th or so, is going to be his direct motion in Virgo, which is your 5th house of money luck, lottery tickets, gaming, speculation, and casinos. Yes. It's also your house of fun, play, pleasure, and your children. If one of your children has been struggling, this is where your child gets going forward, and more momentum moves in the direction of forwardness for a child. And this is also good for your love life and communications with the one you love. Between October 2nd and the 10th, there's flow and harmony in the house of romance, sexuality, and communication with somebody that you may be romantically involved with. And, Mercury was in the house of children and romance and money luck and business enterprise that you have by yourself. He was there for most of the month of August, around the 4th or 5th to the 26th. So you're seeing the story being returned to you about this part of your sky. Were you in a romantic relationship in August? And now is it coming back? And is there communication? Was your child going through something in August? Then now it's back on them. On the September 24th, Mercury went backwards into your 5th house. So starting around that time, September 24th or 3rd, to his direct motion October 2nd, you went back over old ground with a child, with a romance, with a business project, with a creative project, with a lover project. And now you're going to get catapult forward October 2nd to the 11th, and then move it forward a bit more. And then Mercury moves into your 6th house of debt. Mercury, marketing, merchandise, mercantile, legal contracts and agreements are going to be able to be available to you October the 11th to the end of the month, the 30th. This is great for buying a pet, selling a pet, no one sells a pet, for negotiations regarding debt relief, for negotiations regarding legal affairs because of that Pluto in your 9th right now, for negotiations and communications around good results coming back from a lab test or your health issues. Okay, this is all happening October 10th, the end of the month. Now we have Pluto direct. He was retrograde, FYI, since April of last year. And just this is like a slow moving planet. So it's not a big deal. It's a big deal, but you don't feel it on the day he turns around, right? He's like a glacier. He's moving really slowly. And so around October 8th, as he stations direct, Pluto in the house of legal affairs, courts, foreign lands and travel, higher learning, book publishing will move direct. And meaning that starting October 8th, all the way through to the end of the year, you are beginning to have momentum and power and wealth related to 9th house themes. Then a full moon in Aries will occur in your natal 12th house. This is going to light up some kind of revealing around addiction, self and doing self-defeating patterns, hidden enemies. Now you seeded a new moon in your 12th house way the heck back in the first 2 weeks of April 22. If you have a hidden enemy, the seeds of discovery were planted so you could see who this enemy was as the full light shines on the 12th house, and hidden enemies in the glare of a full moon can no longer hide. So if you think you have people who don't have your back, who've been undermining you, well, by the way, you're going to see them in the full glare of a full moon from the full moon, October the 9th, 2 weeks. It's happening at 16 degrees of Aries. Second of all, this is really good for getting trips and travel to foreign lands off the ground. If you want to do that, a full moon shows you where to go, where to travel to, shines a light on destinations perhaps that you might have thought you wanted to go to as far back as last April. Those are themes of that full moon for you, so pay attention to that as well. As we go forward in time, Mars, which is the planet of decisions, action, directions, passion, ending sometimes, will square Neptune. When Neptune is fog, delusion, illusion at his worst, and at his best, he's inspiration, unconditional love, and spirituality and creativity. But with Mars squaring him, I look at it like defogging your windshield, with the part of your car that lets you do that. The windshield defogger, so you can see where you're really going. So Neptune may have been giving you delusions of something or illusions in your 11th house. So friends and allies. You thought that person was your friend. You thought that person was your ally. Good effing luck. No, he's not. And then Mars, with his like laser beam of fog delusion in the house of money and possession, says that person's not your ally. That person's not your friend. That person doesn't have your financial interest at heart. Or you could also have a revision of your dreams and goals for your life, because Mars says, is it going to be something that is going to be true to your voice, calling, and vocation? That dream or goal might need to end. Now, this is not a one-time story. It happens to be occurring on the 10th to the 12th of October. It comes back for review on November 20th or so, and it finalizes in March of 2023. So keep in mind that this is not a one-off event, but it is important to look at the beginning of it in the middle of October 10th to the 12th. Venus will square Pluto. Did I cover that? Yeah. Money, did I? Well, anyway, Venus is in your 5th house, luck and opportunity, romance. Pluto is power in your house of court. So yeah, money, luck outcomes coming for you, but with tension. And no, I'm sorry. reframe. You're my last video of the day. Sorry, stop the presses. I'm not editing this stuff. I don't have time. I need to hire somebody. I had a dream about that Ladid and Shiva of Astrology told me I need to hire an editor. I need to hire someone to do all my graphics. I do it all myself. I realize I can't keep doing that. I just can't. It's like the recording time, the teaching classes, and the clients, and then all the back end stuff. Let me complain to a Taurus. Stop the presses. Venus squares Pluto from your 6th house of debt, and it can be a court case that leads to a debt relief. I think I covered that already, so I apologize. Moving forward. Jupiter will retrograde into Pisces in the house of friendship, allies, people who have your back, your dreams, hopes, and wishes, and your great gains. This retrogradation of Jupiter into your 11th house of windfalls, for example, is on October 28th to December the 20th, with a superpowered momentum on the 24th of November onward. But long story short, with Jupiter October 28th in the house of windfalls, pennies from heaven, friends as allies, favors from friends, great gains from your career, and knowing that that eclipse is seeding something on October 25th, there's some serious luck coming to you. A lot of that can look like money luck. Mars in the house of earnings, Jupiter in the house of pennies from heaven, Venus having seeded something as she moved through Virgo earlier in the month in the house of lottery and lottery wins. Looking at some lovely money stories taking place. Jupiter going back into your 11th, expanding your friendships. New friends are coming. New allies are coming into your life. My daughter is a Taurus sun going back to school. Maybe she'll meet somebody on campus. So you're going to expand your friendship networks as well. That expansion of friendship networks can take 6 months. It's not just, oh, Jupiter expands my friends. Between October 28th and December 20th, with a new moon eclipse, some friends are leaving you and new friends are coming in. Some allies and benefactors are going while new ones are coming in. And because hidden enemies have been revealed by a full moon, some of those friends were never your friend anyway. So get ready for some of them to fall away as new, better people show up in your life. Thank you guys as Tauruses for being willing to get through this with me. It is the end of my day. I am really feeling that it is the end of my day, and that you got to be the end of my day sign instead of Pisces, because I'm trying to mix up my recording schedule, not to make Pisces feel like they got my end of the day vibe. It was all for you, Taurus, that I pushed through at like 6:30 p.m. after a big long day on September the 20th. If you want to learn astrology, Sky Reader. It starts in November. Please come on board if you like astrology. You want to be your own astrologer, time your best life. October 15, at 8 weeks, live classes, high touch, small private Facebook group, making sure you follow the homework, get it all done. Evergreen access to the course forever after. Come aboard on October 2nd. It goes to the public, not just like people on my mail list. If you want to get the early bird discount, see below, you can sign up for that and you'll be able to get in for 30% less than everybody else. Okay. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.